happen. So I think it was kind of like a genuine surprise, but the t-shirt, just united front was determined.
It started as a routine matchup. Two WNBA titans battling on the court, energy high, fans roaring, and playoff implications in the air. But no one, not even seasoned analysts, expected what happened next. Kelsey Plum, known for her fiery competitiveness and fearless scoring, crossed a line she couldn't uncross. And when the dust settled, what unfolded stunned everyone. Teammates, coaches, fans, even her rivals. Kelsey Plum isn't just another WNBA player. She's a champion, a scorer, a leader, and someone who plays with her heart on her sleeve. But in this game, a primetime showdown between the Las Vegas Aces and the Seattle Storm, that fiery edge turned into something more volatile. It was personal, it was heated, and it ignited a sequence of events that quickly spiraled beyond anyone's expectations. This wasn't just about basketball anymore. This was about pride, ego, and how one action can tip an entire game and season on its head. The rivalry boils over. The Aces and Storm have history, deep, chippy, emotional history. And with both teams hovering at the top of the standings, tensions were already razor-thin before the opening tip. Midway through the second quarter, Plum began jawing at Storm guard Jewell Loyd. What started as light trash talk escalated quickly. Cameras caught Plum saying something under her breath after a foul call, and whatever it was, it hit home. Loyd spun around and snapped, "Say that again!" Plum, never one to back down, did exactly that, but louder. The ref stepped between them, trying to cool things off, but the tone had shifted. The crowd sensed it. The players knew it. This wasn't just competition anymore. It was war. The elbow heard around the league. Then came the moment that changed everything. Late in the third quarter, with the Aces clinging to a 4-point lead, Plum drove hard to the basket. Loyd slid in to contest, and that's when it happened. Plum extended her arm, elbow high, and caught Loyd directly in the chin. The arena gasped. Loyd hit the floor. Coaches jumped off the bench, players rushed in. A scuffle broke out with teammates pulling each other back before things escalated into full-blown chaos. Replays showed what fans feared. The elbow wasn't accidental. It looked intentional, or at the very least, reckless. The refs huddled for nearly 3 minutes, watching slow-motion footage from every angle. The verdict? Flagrant second ejection. Kelsey Plum was tossed from the game, and the crowd exploded in boos and cheers, depending on which side you were on. Fallout begins. Immediately, the moment Plum walked off the court, the Aces' momentum vanished. The Storm, emotionally charged and now rallying around their fallen teammate, flipped a switch. In the next 6 minutes, Seattle went on a 17-4 run. Loyd, back on her feet, lips slightly bloodied but eyes locked in, scored 10 straight points herself. On the Aces sideline, Coach Becky Hammond looked furious. Not at the refs, but at Plum. You could see it in her expression. She went too far. The internet explodes. As always, social media didn't wait. Within minutes, hashtags like Plum ejected, WNBA chaos, and Protect Jewell began trending across Twitter and Instagram. Some fans defended Plum, calling it a hard playoff foul or just intensity. Others weren't as forgiving. That wasn't grit. That was dirty. Kelsey just lost the game and her cool in one play. You're better than this, or maybe you're not. Former players chimed in too. Lisa Leslie posted, "There's passion, and then there's poison. You've got to know the line." Skylar Diggins-Smith added, "Y'all act surprised. She's been playing like that." The WNBA world was now locked in debate. Was this just a heat of the moment mistake? Or a sign that Plum's intensity had finally become her weakness? The locker room divide. Backstage, the Aces locker room was tense. Sources reported that teammates were divided. Some supported Plum, saying the refs overreacted and that the Storm were exaggerating. Others were quiet, too quiet. One insider claimed that Plum apologized to the team immediately, saying she let her emotions get the best of her. But the mood remained cold. When asked post-game, Coach Hammond said, "We love Kelsey. She's a competitor. But we can't have that. Not now. Not in games that matter this much." The message was clear. This wasn't acceptable. League responds. The WNBA didn't stay silent. The next morning, the league office released a statement confirming a one-game suspension for Plum and a $2,500 fine. The reasoning? Unnecessary and excessive contact resulting in player endangerment. This wasn't just PR, this was precedent. And it came with a message to every player. Intensity is celebrated. Recklessness is punished. The suspension meant Plum would miss the next key matchup, a nationally televised game against the Connecticut Sun, a team just half a game behind the Aces in the standings. And just like that, her actions had real season-altering consequences. The apology and the rebuild. Kelsey Plum eventually spoke out. In a heartfelt Instagram post, she wrote, "I let the moment get the best of me. I take full responsibility. That's not who I am, and not how I want to lead. I've reached out to Jewel, and I'm truly sorry. I'll be better." The post was shared widely. Some fans forgave her instantly. Others weren't so quick. One thing was certain, she knew she had messed up. Lloyd, for her part, accepted the apology but didn't let Plum off easy. We all get emotional, but it's about how you carry that. I hope she learns from this. We're trying to grow the game, not tear each other down. As the WNBA season rolled into its high-stakes final third, the storylines were heating up, but none more than the one surrounding Kelsey Plum. After a string of controversial games, one explosive on-court incident, and a brief league suspension that sent shockwaves across the basketball world, Plum's reputation teetered on the edge. The Las Vegas Aces, reigning champions and still one of the most talented squads in the league, had just taken a hit. Not just in the standings, but emotionally, psychologically, and publicly. Plum's absence for the Connecticut game wasn't just noticeable, it was decisive. A game that came down to late execution slipped through the Aces' fingers, and suddenly, the narrative wasn't just about the team. It was about her. The suspension echoes. Kelsey Plum's league suspension, levied after an altercation that many labeled avoidable, unsportsmanlike, and even embarrassing, had become the centerpiece of debate across sports media. Some defended her passion, citing her competitive fire and refusal to back down. Others weren't so forgiving, criticizing her lack of discipline and calling her antics a distraction to a championship-level roster. The Aces, for all their camaraderie, were quiet. Head coach Becky Hammond offered no excuses, only stating in the post-game presser, "We're a team. We win together, we lose together. But accountability always matters." The implication was clear. Plum needed to change. A crossroads. For Kelsey Plum, the days away from the court were agonizing. Not because she was afraid of criticism, she'd heard it all before. Not because she was afraid of being benched or traded. The Aces had built around her. But because deep down she knew she'd let the game become about everything except the game. The trash talk, the social media subtweets, the lingering rivalries. It had all blurred the lines between focus and frustration. She wasn't just playing anymore, she was reacting. And for a player of her caliber, that's a dangerous slope. The return, quiet, intentional, powerful. When her return game arrived, a marquee matchup against the New York Liberty, it wasn't just the fans who were watching. Players, analysts, and league officials alike wanted to see who would walk back on that court. Would it be the loud, brash, chest-thumping Plum who had recently become tabloid gold? Or would it be the cold, calculated assassin who had once dropped 40 in a playoff game and dissected defenses with surgical precision? From the moment she stepped out for warm-ups, the tone was different. No head nods to hecklers, no pre-game smirks or stares, just layups, footwork, mid-range pull-ups, locked in, laser-focused. Conclusion, a line crossed, a lesson learned. Kelsey Plum went too far. She let emotion boil over and hurt her team, her image, and possibly her playoff chances. But what followed showed something rare in sports: growth. She faced the criticism. She took the punishment. and she came back more focused than ever. The WNBA is built on passion, but greatness is defined by how you recover from your worst moments. Kelsey Plum may have made a mistake that shocked the world, but what she does next might just define her legacy. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. We'd love to hear from you.